So last session, we started with this topic called hierarchy of SQL Server in a machine. Okay. Hierarchy of SQL Server in a machine. And in that we have studied that in your single system, you will have SQL Server software provided with one-time installation and provided each installation is called instance. First time when you install, it's called default instance. 49 times when you install, they are called named instance. Two types. And every instance will have a name, right? And okay. And next we have seen that you are provided with server name, even folders, what it creates when you are going with installation, right? Folder names. Here I mentioned, like if you are installing database server, what folders you'll have. If it is named instance, what folders you'll have. All those things we have discussed actually. Okay. Now, depending on the folder name also, I said that you can identify, depending on folder name, you can identify what type of instance we are installed with. If it is default instance, every folder will have default instance name as MS SQL Server. And for every named instance, you'll have your folder name by whatever the name you provided during installation, customized name. Right? That part we have discussed. And second thing, what we learn is now, in every SQL Server software, you are made available by databases. Yes, this is your database. This is your database. Yes. This is one database. And types of database, everything I'll discuss. Yes. So what is this now? Database. That too, you can have multiple databases. Right? And how many you can have? How many you can have databases? In one instance, in one instance, you can have 32,767 databases. Three two seven six seven. 32767 databases. Sorry?
32,767 number is the maximum databases?
That is the limit.
Okay.
But practically, when you create more than that also, it will take. But simultaneously, you'll be provided with some memory-related issues. That is the reason they gave a limit as 32,767 Till there, you don't face any problem in even memory concept. Exceeding to this may have memory issues.
Understood.
Right? And then under databases, we are made available with three types of databases in it. Three types of databases. Yes. What are they? Let me make a list here. Three types of databases. Yes. And what are those databases? One is called system databases. One is called system databases. One more category called sample databases. This is one category. This is one category. This is one category. Total three types. And what do you call them? First category, system databases, sample databases, and business databases. This is something related with the user-defined databases or user-created databases. User-defined databases. Total three types are there. Total three. System databases, sample databases, and business databases. Total how many are there? Three types. Business databases, also called user-defined databases. Now again, inside database, you are made available by blocks. Inside database. Yes. Here you are made available by blocks. Yes. Here. And these blocks are called schema. Schemas. Right. And even one more easy to identify, I'm saying, especially when I say user, what you call defined, right? User defined, or you can say schemas that which are created by us. Easy to identify is you can say like this: schemas work like folder. Easy answer. Schema works like what? Folder. I'm not saying schema is a folder. I'm saying schema works like a folder. Okay. Now, another point that I'll highlight now. Another point I'll highlight in this. Under schemas, Microsoft has provided two types again. Under schemas. Two types of schemas they give. Yes. Two types. Built-in schemas, user-defined schemas. Built-in schemas and user-defined schemas. Yes, two types. Built-in schemas and user-defined schemas. This is one type. This is another type. Right? And internal, what happens now? if 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 multiple users are working, if multiple users are working on the same, what do you call, database. So instead of making them work on same environment, there is a provision where you can have where you can have what you can make every user linked with what their own respective schemas, so that their work can be segregated. Their work can be segregated. Always. It's always found to be the best practice, even in real time also. Whenever you work with database, it's always recommended to have separate schemas, separate schemas for different users. Instead of making all of them to work on a single schema, that may provide issues. That may even provide issues. Issues towards what? Yeah, issues towards maintenance. Issues towards maintenance. You understand? So always the moment you join into any team as a on a role of SQL server, any role on a SQL on a role of database, immediate you are provided with your credentials. You are created with your credentials, and those credentials will be shared with you. And with that, you are going to work with which schema, which database, which objects, how to access them. These all things they'll keep you in training. Yeah. That is what you call built-in schemas and user-defined schemas.
Understand, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
going forward on this, schema will contain something called objects. Yes. Schemas has no limit, but objects are again restricted to 32,767 objects we can have. 32,767. 32,767 objects you can create in a schema. And when it comes to objects, these all are a part of it. These all. Here I'll make a list now. Yes, complete list I'll make. Whatever are the objects that are made available within a schema. Yes. And it includes, I'll make a list here. Here I'll make a list. Tables. One object, one type of object. Views. Synonyms. Sequences. Indices. Constraints. Stored procedures. Stored functions. Stored triggers. Etc. Yes. All these are now a part of what? Objects. They are related to objects. Okay. Now, coming to another important thing, from this total architecture, you could figure out these 4 points for this total architecture. And what is it? Let me make a point here. One, OS is collection of instances. Yeah, instances. Okay, OS is collection of instances. And what else we have? What is instance? Instance is collection of databases. It is collection of what? Databases. Databases. 3. Database is collection of schemas. And 4, schema is collection of objects. Yes. 4 points connecting with this architecture. Connecting with this architecture. Yes. Collection of instances. Instance is collection of databases. And database is collection of schemas. And schema is collection of objects. Yes. Okay. 4 points. This is how you provide the hierarchy, or you can say working of okay, now we'll study next concept. Next concept is. Is this clear? You have any questions to ask me on this architecture? Any queries you have?
No, sir.
No? Okay, fine. Now, next we'll continue to our class notes. File open. DBA. Okay. That hierarchy I placed in another document. That will be for your reference. Later you can check it out. Now we are going to learn something important. And that point is Microsoft will release every new version I'm talking about. A version for testing purpose. Testing purpose. You call it trial version, you call beta version, you call testing version, you call. But what Microsoft calls? Microsoft calls as CTP, they call. They call CTP. Community Technology Preview. Yes, CTP. Community Technology Preview. Okay, community technology. What do you call preview? And what is the other name we have? Yes, CTP, also called trial version, beta version, trial or beta version. Yes. right? And one more important thing, what is called service pack? What is called service pack? Service pack is always a combination of three things. Three things. Hot fixes. Just 1 second. 1 second. Okay, so hot fixes plus new features plus new OS support. Usually, we used to have this in operating system. Usually. In OS, we used to have. You understand? We used to have this in what? OS. But now, if you focus on this current process towards its working, you could very clearly see. What that we are now made available the same process even in your SQL server. Obviously, Microsoft product, when I say it will be 90%, it will be applied to everything that which is connected with your, OS. Okay. And now, one more thing. From one SQL Server software to another SQL Server software, you are provided with various. I'll give you an idea so that you'll have a clear picture why I use this point. First, we'll discuss SQL Server. If at all I take 2008 example. If I take SQL Server 2008, this is provided with the 2008 is version you call. 2008 is what you call version. Okay. And SQL Server 2008 is version. And the second thing, SQL 2008 related release we have, that is called 8.0. Shall I write both the things separately? So let's call difference between version, release. SQL Server 2008 is version. What is release? 8.0.194. I'm talking about 8. And it was called first time release, they call RTM. First time they release, what do you call? Yes, they call it as RTM. What is RTM? Release to market. Release to market.
Sir, what is the use of service pack, sir?
Actually, I said that always a combination. Always. Service pack is extension of your software that will overcome issues of the issues of developed product, adding with new features and new OS support. I'll give you an example. For example, assume, for example, I have purchased SQL Server 2008 software. Okay, licensed one. I purchased it.
Yes.
Now, after purchasing, I was planning to use that SQL Server 2008 software for Java programming. I was planning to use. So is the reason I purchased it. But after purchasing, I found that my requirement is not being fulfilled with that purchased software. What I would do, definitely, I'll inform Microsoft, explaining them that so-and-so software I purchased on so-and-so date, but it's not supporting me to complete the requirement. They'll ask me like, what was that you're trying to do? you are using is this with which type, which application, everything they'll ask, everything. Now, interesting point is, interesting point is, once they find, yes, whatever I said, it's not supporting for my requirement, then Microsoft considers that to be a bug in the software, an error in the software, a bug in the software or error. But when not directly, first they also will implement once on their personal system. In their R&D department, they will implement, then they will draw a conclusion. Yes, whatever he was saying is found to be correct. It is not implementing and it is not going to complete his requirement. Immediate what Microsoft will do? Microsoft will start working on that problem. Working on that problem. Yes. And what next it will do? Yeah, once it starts working on that, then you could find, then you can find that they will rectify the problem. They will give you, they say that we'll find out, we'll rectify it. And then once they find that software really, it was a problem, then they'll rectify the problem and they'll email you. They'll email you saying that so-and-so problem that you are facing has been resolved. But install this service pack. Service pack. That is nothing but extension of the software. Extension in the software. That is the reason you call this you call 8 is called major release. Major release. 0 is called minor release. And 194 is called a patch build version. 194 is called what? Build or patch. Yes. And then after, when I purchased 194, that was the software I purchased. Then I found it's not supporting me. It's not completing my requirement. Then what they will do? Definitely they'll work on that. They will work on that. And then they will, issue is resolved. Then they'll give you a link saying that this is what the extension part, we have given a link to you. You try to resolve, or you try to fix up that error by going through this installation. Okay, and what is that they call? Yes, I'll write those numbers also. 8.0.00, sorry, 8.00. Here also I'll write 00. Here also I'll write 00. Yeah, 8.00.384 is what they call as SP1, Service Pack 1. What does it explain? Yeah, it means when I purchased, it was 194. After that, Microsoft worked on the issue what I have faced. And then a new thing has been added for a build version, and what they call as 384. 384. What's the number again? 8.00.38 for SP1. What is the meaning of it? It means from the point they released, it was released by what number you said? Released by what? Number was 194. After that, what is the number they got? 384, which means now 384 minus 194. It means they have made 190 changes in the software
Okay.
from the release to what? SP1. How many? 190 changes they made in the software. And then again people will definitely face some issues again they'll ask Microsoft to resolve it. Then Microsoft again introduces one more one more service pack, that is by number 532, and they call 532, and they call this as SP2 service pack 2. From where to where it is? Yeah. Now you can say 532 minus 384. 148 changes they make. 148 changes. Whether that issue is related to your requirement or not is immaterial for them. They develop something new and you have a licensed version of SQL Server. Immediate, you'll get an access to that. You have to download it and you make it available for your approach. You install it. Service pack need to be installed. They'll give you a link to that now. And after 532, they again worked on this to resolve some issues, and they have come up with something called 76T. This is named SP3 Service Pack 3. And finally, now most important, 8.00.2039 SP4. Oh, so now you can see there might be very drastic change that they might have come across from Service Pack 3 to Service Pack 4. 2039 minus 760. 1279 changes they made in the software. That is the reason why these service packs are going to play a major role for us. Okay, comfortable? Right? Like that, every software, I mean, I took example of 2008. That may be a case even for 2014 also, the one which we are going to use for our practical. Even for SQL Server 2014, they made lot of new things available. Lot of new things. Sometimes they found, in a month, 3-4 times they have made changes. Yeah. So SQL Server, I'll just give you an idea about 2014 on which we are going to work. This is SQL Server 2008 release, and this is what you call version. Reverse, we wrote reverse. What about 2014? What's the story of 2014? Yeah, right, same thing. SQL Server 2014 is released. And what's the version then? 12.00.2000 RTM. First time release. And in that, what Microsoft has done, Microsoft has made available with SQL Server 2014 cumulative updates, they call cumulative updates. You understand? Cumulative updates.
Updates, yes.
And how many? That too, it's not like 1, 2. They made around, you can say, 2000, cumulative 1 to cumulative 14 updates they introduced in that. 14 updates. After RTM, I'm saying, after RTM. First change was like this, 12.000.2340. This was first cumulative update, CU1, cumulative update 1. Okay, and now cumulative update 1. And how many? Cumulative update 1 to cumulative update 14. Like this. Again, they got to have some number, 12.00. Assumption. Say, for example, we got like 2340. I'll just assume a number, 242450. This is cumulative update 2. Like this, how many they have? Cumulative update 14. Then after, they made a change. What change? Immediately, once these all cumulative updates are done, they have come up with something called SQL Server 12.00.4100 SP1 Service Pack 1. Okay, clear now?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. SP1 is there even in this also. SP1, SP2, SP3. 3 service packs we have, SP3. Okay. And yeah, that's it. A little practical session we have on this concept that let me explain you in my next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, next class I'll explain you detail about it.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Bye.
Bye, sir.